If the reason for the visit is more to do with anxiety, then anxiety disorder might take precedence for the principal diagnosis. So in most cases, the principal diagnosis or reason for the visit is what is going to identify what you put down as the major diagnosis. Now, let's talk a bit more about substance-related and addictive disorders, because this was where there was some controversy in the work group on this about what we were going to call it. Some wanted to call it addictive disorders, and others felt that that was a stigmatized term, and they ended up, I think, marrying the opinions. So the chapter is now called Substance-Related and Addictive Disorders, although the only addictive disorder is a gambling disorder at this point. Because in DSM, you know, they only put in as disorders where there's a significant body of scientific data to really back up the inclusion of that diagnosis. So you may say, well, why isn't sex disorders in there? Why isn't internet disorder there? Well, we'll talk about that in a second. But you'll know now, perhaps if you've looked at DSM-5, that there's no more substance abuse or dependence, just substance use disorders. And one of the reasons for this is that dependence has always been a tricky term, because even if you've had surgery and you're about to get a long course of narcotic analgesic medication, maybe not long, but long enough to at least get physiologically dependent on it, you could have physiological dependence on narcotics from post-surgery, and if you stop them, go into some withdrawal. That doesn't mean you have the disease of addiction. And so substance dependence was always an inexact term in terms of describing the disease of addiction. So no more dependence, because that gets confused with physiological dependence that can happen to anybody as long as they're on a drug long enough. I mean, if you're even taking therapeutic doses of benzodiazepines, you can become dependent on it and go into withdrawal. But you may be taking, as prescribed, therapeutic doses, not overusing it, not using it in an addictive fashion, and yet become physiologically dependent and have withdrawal from it. So no more substance abuse or dependence, there's just substance use disorders, where the diagnoses are categorized